Never stop learning because life never stops teaching. Good afternoon, everyone. We have gathered here today to celebrate the graduation ceremony of 2016 batch. I'm Dr. Harni Mullapodi, Vice Principal Academics GIMSR, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to speak today. First of all, on behalf of our second batch of MBBS students, I would like to welcome you all for their graduation ceremony. I also want to thank all parents, family, and friends for their love and constant support. I welcome all the dignitaries on the dais and off the dais and faculty of GIMSR. Please stand up for prayer.
Vande Mataram, Vande Mataram, Sujalam, Sufalam, Malayaj Sheetalam, Shasya Shamalam Mataram, Vande Mataram. Shubhrajyosna pulakitayaminim Pullakusumita drumadala shobhinim Suhasinim Sumadhura bhashinim Sukhadam varadam mataram Vande mataram Vande Mataram.
Please be seated. Now I request our principal, Madam Dr. I. Jyoti Padmachagaru, to give welcome address.
Dignitaries on the dais, Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Subrat Kumar Acharya, Pro-Chancellor, KIT University, Bhubaneswar, and Executive Director, Gastroenterology and Hepatology, Fortis Escorts Hospital, New Delhi. President, Geetam deemed to be University, Sri M. Sri Bharat. Professor Jaishankar Warrior, In charge Vice Chancellor, Geetam deemed to be University. Dr. Geetanjali Padmanabhan, Pro Vice Chancellor, Medical Sciences. Registrar, Dr. Gunashekaran. Our Secretary, Geetam, Pro Vice Chancellor, Campus Life. The Deans, Principals and Directors of various sister institutes of Geetam. And all faculty, staff, students, graduates of today's function and the proud parents. I wish all of you a hearty welcome to this second graduation ceremony of GIMSR. So 163 students are graduating this year, and there are 43 first classes with one distinction. So there's one popular poem, Padyam, in Telugu, which says Putrotsahamu, it goes on, I will only tell the meaning. So it's not at the time of the birth of the children, but only when they achieve something, the parents will be more elated. I think this is that day when all the parents are proud of their wards, and we are also proud of our students that they are graduating from this wonderful institute. So graduates, never forget your parents who made you enter this esteemed institute. So it's been a long journey, and this is one important milestone for you. Of course, further your routes may differ. Some of you might take up post-graduation, some might go into research, some might take up a job, whether private or government, or you may go into administrative posts, or you may also be going into some other new field also. Whatever it may be confident, responsible, and professional. And always maintain the balance of work and life. And as Winston Churchill said, you cannot deal with the most serious things in the world unless you can understand the most amusing. So always be happy and cheerful. We will always look forward eagerly to hear about your achievements and your welfare. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now I request our Pro Vice Chancellor, Medical Sciences, Dr. Geetanjali Madam, to enlighten the gathering with her valuable words.
Honorable President of Geetham, Shri M. Bharat, esteemed Chief Guest, Professor Subrat Acharya, the Secretary, Shri Bharadwaj, Dr. Jayashankar Warrior, distinguished members of the governing body and Board of Management, Registrar, respected Pro Vice Chancellors, Principal of GIMSR, Dr. Jyoti Padmaja, Medical Superintendent, Deans, Heads of Institutes, faculty, staff and students, parents, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, the stars of this afternoon, the graduating students. Good afternoon. It is my pleasure to be a part of the second graduation day ceremony of GIMSR. The graduation day is an important milestone, not only for the graduating students, but also for the institution, as it signals the culmination of training of a batch of students, in this case, the second batch, which reflects that the institution has indeed come into its own. I congratulate each one of you of the graduation students for the hard work and perseverance you have shown in these past few years. I also congratulate your parents for nurturing your ambitions and hopes and being the wind beneath your wings. Multi-storied buildings, mega projects, and international publications in high-impact journals are the benchmarks by which we are judged by our peers. But we must also strive to become an institution admired and known for the high quality of rational and cost-effective care of all patients knocking on the doors of GIMSR, as well as the excellent training offered to our students. We aspire to be an institution venerated for the empathy, compassion, and care shown by all our doctors and healthcare workers in treating the underserved and become leaders in the use of state-of-the-art technology to support patient management, education and training, and administration. This, I hope, will be our mantra for our future. I'm sure your teachers have instilled in you the spirit of inquiry, concern, and compassion to the less fortunate, and motivated all of you to demonstrate the highest levels of altruism and professionalism in all your endeavors. This is the day that we recognize, appreciate, and thank them for their effort. As Albert Einstein said more than 8.5 decades ago, the aim must be the training of independently acting and thinking individuals who, however, see in the service of the community their highest life problem. I have no doubt that the education that you received in GIMSR holds you in good stead all your life and allows you to leave footprints in the sands of time. Medicine is a calling. By putting your patients' needs before your needs, their well-being before yours, you elevate your soul and spirit. I'm sure all the students of GIMSR will exhibit the highest levels of professionalism and ethical behavior in all their professional dealings in the times to come. Over the decades, changing socioeconomic paradigms and values have reached a stage that doctors are no longer held in high esteem, as was done previously by the common man. All of you must strive to do your best to win back that status which was enjoyed by doctors of yore. The ambience and culture of Geetham facilitates self-directed learning, and I'm sure all of you graduates will become lifelong learners capable of working in the most challenging environments with service to humanity as your goal. In the end, it is you who can take on the challenges faced by our generation. We are privileged to be in a position to help the poor, the starving, the sick, the marginalized, the infirm, the elderly. It is said that kindness is a language that even the deaf can hear and the blind can see. So be kind to all. You will be blessed in ways you can never imagine. I wish each and every one of you all the very best as you venture out into the world from your alma mater. God bless you all. Jai Hind.
Thank you, ma'am, for your energetic words. Now, I request our Vice Chancellor in charge, Geetam deemed to be University, Professor Jaishankar Warrior Garu, to address the gathering.
Honorable President of Geetam, Sri M. Bharat, esteemed Chief Guest, Dr. Subrata Kumar Acharya, respected Secretary, Pro-Vice Chancellor, Dr. Geetanjali, and Professor Gautam, Medical Superintendent, Deans, Heads of Institutes, Registrar Dr. Gunashekaran, Functional Directors, Heads of Department, Faculty, Staff, the stars of today, the students, and the parents who have given us the awards with trust, distinguished invitees, press and electronic media. It gives me tremendous pleasure to see all of you on the second graduation ceremony of our future doctors. Today we have with us a renowned doctor and an academician, Dr. Subrat Kumar Acharya. Dr. Acharya is an inspiration to all of us in his dedication to his profession and the service he renders. Sir, we are grateful to you for consenting to be the chief guest today. Your words will immensely benefit our students, our faculty, guests in the auditorium, and those following the live streaming on YouTube. We extend you a cordial welcome to Geetam, Visakhapatnam. The graduation ceremony is an important event in one's life, because that's what defines us as an individual. You are now qualified to pursue the profession you have aspired for. It's obviously a joyous moment for your parents, a fulfillment of their aspirations through you. And for Geetam, this is an occasion which gives us great sense of gratification in sending out qualified professionals to benefit society at large. On this occasion, let me just brief you on the origin of Geetam for those of you who are not familiar. So in 1980, the Geetam was founded as a college of engineering by Dr. MVVS Murthy and other eminent philanthropists. It was founded in Visakhapatnam, and it has evolved gradually with an increase in the number of programs, institutes, and infrastructure, and has now become a multidisciplinary higher education facility. UGC declared Geetam as a deemed to be university, and that stands testimony to its quality and potential. Subsequently, Geetam Hyderabad campus was started in 2009 and followed by the Bengaluru campus in 2010 and GIMSR, this side off campus, in 2015. Recognizing the holistic education that the university is imparting, NAC has accredited the university with an A+ grade, and the UGC has classified Geetam as a Category 1 deemed to be university and has granted graded autonomy in 2018. We are now pursuing the third review of the NAC accreditation. Recording steady growth, the university has evolved into one of the premier universities in the country and has 22 institutes, 12 faculties, 58 academic departments, offering 245 programs in the undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctoral levels. The university has more than 23,000 regular full-time students and 1,500 research scholars, and also 1,400 full-time faculty members. GIMSR was established in 2015 at the Visakhapatnam campus and started with an annual intake of 150 students. This is, of course, the second batch, and the goal is to provide accessible, affordable, and quality medical education of global standards and also do tremendous social service. The NMC has recently accorded permission to start the postgraduate medical courses in 14 specializations. The district collector of Visakhapatnam notified GIMSR as a Category A exclusive COVID treatment hospital, and the hospital delivered treatment to more than 4,500 COVID patients during 2020 and 2021. Now, to my students or soon-to-be alumni, I congratulate you. You have opted for a great profession to serve humanity. I come from a family of doctors, and I'm proud of that. And I can confidently say that you are the almighty to your patients and their dear ones. You give hope, and you're also a teacher and a mentor. Participating in this, and for me, participating in this noteworthy moment in your life when you're graduating gives me great joy. In closing, I just want to remind you of a few things. Remember that it's service that should drive you. Why have you chosen this profession? There will be lows and highs, but you have to focus on the patient and deliver the best care from your knowledge and experience. You are a healer, not just simply a mechanic in this to your patient, and that's simply not just putting a white coat on. The other part is the professional ethics and values. I stress on this because without this, you will never perform your best, especially when you have the lows in your profession. This ethics and the values actually support you. As was stressed before, keep yourself current. Continuous learning of contemporary knowledge and skills is essential. The changes are so rapid that in just a few days or weeks, you become outdated and may not be able to deliver the best care or the optimum care for your patient. So it's important, I cannot stress more, never stop learning, never stop asking questions. Your profession is your way of life. You need to be empathetic. You have to leave your comfort zone, and once you leave your comfort zone, you will actually be surprised where you will be able to go. Last but not the least, please remember that none of you are Superman or Wonder Woman or Chota Bheem or any superhuman character that you grew up with. You are human. The only way, please understand that. The ethics and as I told you about the laws, etc., the ethics and the values will take you through a long life forward. I once again thank Dr. Acharya and for consenting to be the chief guest today. And it's also my pleasant duty to thank the Honorable President, Sri Bharat, and the Secretary for participating. I take this opportunity to express my gratitude to all my colleagues, faculty, staff, and students for their continued support and encouragement, and to the parents, the trust you have given us to mold your wards. My thanks to the media friends, guests, and invitees for making this function memorable. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir. Now I request our President Sri M. Sri Bharat Garu to share his thoughts with our budding doctors.
Good afternoon, students. Good afternoon, parents and family members of graduating students. So I shared this last year, but this year I'm in a better situation. Medical college is the only institution that invites me on the stage during graduation, so I felt special last year. But this year, Dr. Arya has invited me for the others, so the specialty will not continue. I think the second batch is probably the last batch where we have more than 75% of students coming from Andhra and Telangana. So I think that is your batch. And from 17 onwards, it's been about 40%, I would say, non-local or non-Telugu speaking students, and lesser and lesser. This year, it's almost 50-50. So I'm happy and proud that the medical college is the most diverse institution in terms of gender, region. But the one thing that it is not as diverse is the economic status of the students. Uniformly, everybody who is here is spending close to 1 crore in educating their student. I think To that, I must appreciate all of the family members here, because I know for many of you, it may not have been easy to spend this kind of money to educate your child. It is a big investment in their future. So a lot was said, but I want to be honest with you. The state of medical education in the country is not in a good place. Definitely relative to other fields of education, and relative to the importance of the role that you will play as a doctor, I think it's far from where it should be. But why is it so expensive? Because of various reasons, a large part to regulations, the number of faculty that we need to have. Because I have all of the parents here, I thought I should share with them. In overall GITAM, we have about 1,500 faculty and about 27,000 students. So the faculty-student ratio is about 1:18. But if I look at just the medical college, we have about 600 odd students, and we have about 200 faculty. So it's 1:3 versus 1:18. So that is one big cost. The other is the requirement for the number of beds, number of patients the hospital should have. That also, there is a minimum standard of infrastructure that is expected. So I think what we can be proud of in GITAM is maybe we're better than many colleges in the age. I mean, as an 8-year-old medical college, we may be one of the better ones in South India, but still a long way to go. What are some of the outcomes that I'm concerned about? And this I have seen in some videos. Dr. Devi Shetty, how many of you have heard of him, the founder chairman of Narayan Hridayalaya? He was mentioning in one of his talks that because of this disease of high cost of medical education in India, most doctors are aspiring for medicine as a lifestyle profession, because typically it is people from economically forward families who are coming, who aren't willing to work as hard, aren't willing to go to rural environments. So before I make the next statement, let me just understand, how many of you want to go study PG? Students? How many of you don't want to study PG? In medical, sorry, PG in other fields fine, but how many of you don't want to study PG in medicine? Okay. Maybe you don't feel brave enough to raise your hand today. How many of you have chosen to study medicine or were forced by your parents to study? Only one person has said they have chosen to study. Everybody else has been forced to study, is it? I have a good friend of mine who studied medicine, took 7 years to graduate, and repeated, I think, maybe the first year. And then he has, for many years, been completely away from the medical profession. He's better at technology than I am. He installs the Wi-Fi system in my house. That's how good he is at technology. But somehow fate has it that he's back in the field of medicine, but not as a doctor. He's working as the head of operations for a prominent hospital in Hyderabad. He went and did a MBA in healthcare. As all of you graduate and think about your future, there are so many different avenues that are available to you. It is not that you are doomed to only study medicine as you move forward. You may have a subject that you are passionate about in PG, in clinical or non-clinical subjects. But if you don't, there are many other opportunities that are available. You can do a master's in science, you can get into research, you can get into biotechnology, engineering, you can get into management, you can work in the administration of hospitals, pharmacies, nursing establishments. So avenues are many. Please don't be limited and don't be worried. The 1 crore is already spent, it's gone. So don't worry about that. Think about your future. You still have a long life. And if you're doing something that you don't enjoy, then I think that's a bigger harm to the nation. Now, my earlier point, which I'm coming back to, what Dr. Devi Shetty had mentioned, is that everyone wants to study subjects which are easy. Like, I'm not saying, by the way, no offense to radiologists and dermatologists sitting here, but some of those seem to be high demand programs and people are willing to pay more to study that because they feel that the hours are controlled. I can work 9 to 5. I don't have to work around the clock. I don't have to be on call. Lesser people want to study subjects where you're needed to be available 24/7. Lesser people, even lesser, want to study the non-clinical subjects. Today, Dr. Warrior has said that we have 14 subjects, 12 are clinical and 2, I don't know whether they're called pre or paraclinical. One of the seat we weren't able to fill. The fees for that is less than half of the other programs. Was it community medicine that wasn't filled? We have 6 other non-clinical subjects like anatomy or physiology, biochemistry, microbiology. We have chosen not to offer them because we believe that nobody will join. Who educates the doctors of the future if nobody joins these subjects? This is a serious concern that India must think about. So if any of you have an academic interest, I would highly encourage you to consider that as a career. Consider teaching as a career. Consider research as a career. Because if all of you have gone through this, you have gone through your first year, your second year, and if you did not like your anatomy class or your anatomy teacher or your physiology teacher, you have an opportunity to contribute to your future juniors as teachers by going and studying that subject. India has acute shortage of doctors teaching those subjects, especially good teachers. And unfortunately, that is the foundation of the medicine that you are studying. And if you don't understand those well, I don't believe that you will be good doctors. So many real challenges. So driving up cost is one thing. Many of you think that I have spent 1 crore, so I need to earn it back. The other thing that I think Dr. Gitanjali or maybe Dr. Gitanjali mentioned, that the respect that doctors used to command in society is not the same. Maybe it's because one of this is this, that because you spend so much, you think so much about earning back the money that you've invested, and you think less about sacrificing or giving time. The intention to do good is there in everyone, but sometimes practical constraints limits the way you take your decisions. So what I would say to you and to, maybe I'm not very popular with the parents for saying this. Maybe parents may be thinking also that it's better that all of you go to a lucrative career and earn money, but earning money is not the be-all end-all of being a doctor. So we have an example that I'd like to quote. He's not here with us in the audience, but every opportunity I get, I try to speak about him. How many of you have heard of L.V. Prasad Eye Hospital? Some of you. Can anybody volunteer? What is the founder chairman's name? Does anybody know? What is that, Andy? Sorry? L.V. Prasad. Yeah. That's what I thought until 5 years ago. So, Mr. L.V. Prasad is the largest donor at the time, the largest founding donor. He gave the land and he gave money to establish the institution. L.V. Prasad today treats millions of patients in the country. But as a standard, 50% of the patients pay, those who can afford, and the money that they pay is used for 50% of the patients who are treated for free. And this has been their model. The chairman is Dr. G.N. Rao. Nobody knows this. So he had a very lucrative private practice in the US in his mid-40s, and he decided to do something for his country, and he's an ophthalmologist, and he moved back to India, and he didn't have money to establish this institution of this scale, but by that time he had built a reputation as an individual of character, and people trusted him. And then with a great hard work, he has built this institution. Why he is an inspiration to me is, a lot of people who do good work seek glory. I seek glory. If Geetam does really well, 10 years down the line, I'll feel happy if somebody says that Bharat has contributed to it. But Dr. G.N. Rao, after 40 years of establishing this institution, does not seek personal glory. And he also does not seek power, because about a year ago, he's handed over the reins of the organization to his successor, who is not his family member. He's a professional, Dr. Prashant Garg, who worked in L.V. Prasad for a few years. So, if it was about money, Dr. G.N. Rao would not have moved back to India. L.V. Prasad Institution is a non-profit hospital, and it is doing so well that they're able to generate so much philanthropy today because people trust them. Most recently, the Bajaj family gave them 20 crores as a donation. So, as young doctors who are going out, you may be thinking, why am I telling you about this? What has this got to do with me? Don't limit your potential. Don't feel that I am not a very strong, academically oriented student, doctor. Don't feel that I wasn't the best ranked student when I wrote medicine. I struggled to pass in the subject of medicine. Many of you struggled to pass, I'm assuming. Yeah? All of that is irrelevant. I also struggled to pass some subjects when I studied in certain subjects that I didn't like. I think the way the medicine is designed, with amount of theoretical content that is expected for you to remember, it's not easy. But don't feel that that should limit your ambition. My hope for every graduating batch, for this graduating batch, because I'm here speaking to you all, is try to do something special in your life and try to build a reputation where you can inspire many others. And to build a good reputation does not require you to be the most intelligent or the best at your craft. It requires you to have good character. It requires you to have good work ethic. If you're able to work hard, if you're able to be honest, if you're able to keep investing into learning, you will all grow to be doctors that make yourself proud, your family is here, your family will be proud of you, and definitely as an alma mater, Geetam will be proud. These are very early days. We're laying the foundation for what this institution can be. We still don't have a national or global reputation yet as a medical college because we are still young. But the way you conduct yourself, the way you study, the way you practice, the way you are as individuals will define what Geetam becomes in the future. So your journey with Geetam, do not view it as ending. One phase of the journey has ended. The next phase as alumni begins, and we have high hopes for you all. And we wish you all the best of luck in your endeavors. And I hope that all of the family members who have come here, I should say, there was a change in time, I believe, and that led to some challenges in managing your transportation and being here on time. But ultimately, I think almost everyone could make it. So we're glad that almost everyone is here. To all of the parents and family, I haven't addressed you as much. We thank you again for placing your trust in Geetam. There's one doctor that I want that has come to my notice, Dr. D. Gopalakrishna. He's here in the audience. Gopalakrishna, are you here? Can you just raise your hand, or there's light here? I can't Is he here? Is he not? Okay. I was told that he's here. He's the grandfather of one of the students. He's here. Dr. D. Gopal Krishna is one of the oldest practicing doctors amongst the audience today. He graduated from medicine in 1957. He practiced for 35 years. Practiced for 35 years as a government hospital doctor, and then private practice for I think 24 years after that, 29 years after that, sorry. So he's probably in his late 80s, and very popular for providing free and subsidized care to patients in Vizag and Vizianagaram. We applaud you, Dr. Gopal Krishna Garu. Hello, Andy. Yeah, great to. Thank you for coming. You're an inspiration to us all, and if any of you students get an opportunity, go speak to him for a few minutes or a few seconds. What has made him practice for 65 years and for practically free service? Really inspirational, and I think by seeing you, not only your grandchild, but all of the other students here will follow in footsteps with leaders like you. And lastly, I want to thank Dr. Subrat Acharya for accepting to be our chief guest and visiting us, and we look forward to hearing your illuminating thoughts, Dr. Acharya. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Gopal, please sit down. I just wanted to introduce you to everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for your friendly advice. Now, Dr. P. Suchitra from Department of Pediatrics will be introducing our chief guest for today's function.
Good afternoon, respected dignitaries, faculty, parents, and dear students. Graduation Day represents years of perseverance and endeavor. For some, it's a pinnacle. For many, it's a landmark. And for most, it's a prominent milestone for further accomplishments. To inspire us and confer the degrees, today we have with us our chief guest, who is not only a clinician, not only a scientist, not only a prolific writer and a passionate teacher. He is well known for his compassionate and patient-centric approaches in treating complex diseases. He is a person of distinct vision, an idol of knowledge and experience. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our chief guest for today's graduation ceremony, Professor Subrat Kumar Acharya. Dr. Acharya is an eminent gastroenterologist and liver transplant physician. He completed his MD General Medicine from Utkal University, Orissa, and DM Gastroenterology from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, New Delhi. His distinguished career spans more than 4 decades at the prestigious AIIMS, New Delhi. He now serves as Pro-Chancellor, KIIT University, Bhubaneswar. He is also the Executive Director of Gastroenterology and Hepatology, Fortis Escorts Digestive and Liver Institute, New Delhi. He has special research interest in liver diseases. With his pioneering work in primary liver cancer, he was able to provide guidelines for affordable liver cancer therapy in India. He is also associated with the development of vaccination policy for both hepatitis B and hepatitis A viral infections in our country. He has many contributions in policy making and people-oriented health schemes of the Government of India, including Ayushman Bharat Yojana. Under his training, many young doctors have become successful gastroenterologists, carrying his legacy forward across the world. He was honored with Padma Shri in the year 2014 for his remarkable contribution in the field of medicine. He is also a recipient of several awards, such as the prestigious Samantha Chandrasekhar and J.C. Bose Awards, just to name a few. So, for this solemn and ceremonial event today, there could not have been a more appropriate person than him to look up to as a role model and to enrich, enlighten, and enhance the occasion. Once again, I'm absolutely delighted to invite our chief guest, Professor Subrat Kumar Acharya, to deliver the graduation day address. Thank you.
Namaskar and good afternoons. At the outset, I must say, I must congratulate the young doctors. I must congratulate the parents. And I must congratulate the institute and all the faculty and all the staffs for taking strides toward a future direction who can change the health scenario in the nation. Having said that, I think I must address the dignitaries on the diet, and you have heard the dynamic young president, Mr. Bharat. I think he has given you the message. And I was very impressed with his talk and his thought process. I don't think at his age I had that wisdom. And I must also say your Vice Chancellor in charge, Mr. Professor Jayasankar Warrior, whom I met yesterday, a chemical engineer, and I listened to him very carefully yesterday evening and today morning. And I'll say you have a very appropriate, very dynamic, very thinking and cerebral educationist with you. And given him opportunity, he will take you miles. And I know Professor Gitanjali Padmanabhan. She was the director of All India Institute of Medical Sciences in New Delhi. Prior to that, she was professor and head pharmacology in GIMSR. I had heard about him from her students and contemporary. Many of them have become my students later on. And we became good friends because I had an opportunity to work with her as the president of AIIMS Bhubaneswar. And I have seen her and the dynamism, the force, the passion, the enthusiasm with which she loves to bring in progress to AIIMS. Today, AIIMS New Delhi, AIIMS Bhubaneswar, is almost has been, I just saw a recent survey, is about 20th rank in the country. And that survey was given by a lay press, India Today. And I think that credit goes to her. And you are very lucky that you have such a pro-vice chancellor who had a track record of bringing in progress, laurels, and knowledge. And you see, you have very eminent people and amongst you. And you people are very lucky, I will say. This is a very eminent group of, I will say, thinkers and professionals who will, with your help, will make this institute. Don't think about that it becomes a national institute of importance or international institute of importance. Think about the country vision, a huge population which is needed for this nation. And I saw the campus, I saw the institute, I can see the vision coming through. Now, the infrastructure is there. You need actually people who can convert it to reality. The potential has to be converted to kinetic. You have such people. Now, you are students and faculty of such an institution. I met briefly the principal, and whom I heard is a microbiologist. And, but I saw her, and as a physician must have seen millions of patients. And by now I think, I may be looking foolish, I may think when I talked with a person, I can guess his mind. And because I am dealing with, you see, many clinicians are like politicians, they can study human mind. So I can see the principle, and I can see that she wants to good for you. She is the driver. And that's what I was trying to tell. You have a tremendous constellation of people with wisdom and knowledge. who are going to give you a lot of insight, directions, and probably a very pleasant journey throughout your life. Now, at the outset, I told, and your president also told, a very important thing, that you have become doctors. This is essentially addressed to the students. I have been a teacher myself over 40 years and taught not only postgraduate, I used to teach my undergraduate. I will never give the classes to any juniors. Because I think the undergraduate student is the most important aspect of a medical career, where you frame minds, where you frame future physicians, scientists, researchers, and other disciplines, as your president suggested. And that's the time when it needed molding. And that's the time when you can convert people. Now, many of you will become clinicians. Many of you will become basic scientists, pushing the boundary of knowledge, research. Many of you go on to different areas related to the technology in medicine. Doesn't matter which area you take, as your president told. But remember, you will be doing always work for people. And you will exist for people. That I convert into because I am a clinician, I have felt it. First concept of going into medicine is the concept of trust. If you see a patient, or you are doing a science, or doing a technology, you are doing it for others. Think example of a patient. You have become patient, you must have become sick. When you go to a doctor, you trust him that he will give a potion to you with which you become all right. And you think he knows. And I know from my own experience as clinician, we never ask ourselves, do we know? We think we know, as the first question. I will give you a simple example. You have a kid. Many of you will become mothers and fathers. And your kid becomes sick. You are very attached to the kid. You go to your pediatrician friend to treat him. Even you trust your own pediatrician friend that he knows. But does he think he knows? You are in a science of knowledge. The knowledge is growing. The knowledge is changing. I remember in my undergraduate days, when I was reading about immunology, we never had T cells or B cells. We never have subdivision of T cell or B cells. We have simple humoral immunity and cellular immunity. We never knew the component. Over decades, it changed. It changed so much that immunology is the basis of understanding the body defense, interaction of the environment and host, and resultant multiple disease where we are doing interventions. Now that knowledge is expanded. And patients are seeing me. They come with a trust that I know. And it's a very important question to many of us. This is the first thing. Second thing, many of you become doctors, and same thing in research, the technology advance. Same thing in biotechnology, the technology advance. You're delivering some knowledge in research. It should be good. It should be good to push the boundary of knowledge. Now, ma'am, your pro-vice chancellor told about publications. Now, what has happened over a period of time in our science? Because we need papers to be published to become famous. And in the process, there are many flaws inside. And if you publish wrong papers, you yourself are training yourself wrongly. To do research and push boundary of knowledge is growing your knowledge, growing your intellect. If you pursue in a wrong path, you are training yourself in a wrong way. You are cheating or deceiving your own people. That's a very important concept. And therefore, if you are a good doctor, if you are a good researcher, and 10 people says that you are good. You exist. If 10 of my patients say, Dr. Acharya is a good doctor, we trust him, he delivers the good, I exist. I earn my bread. I'm here today because your great people trusted me that this fellow had delivered. That's why at 72 years I'm standing in front of you. Otherwise I would have been a non-entity. The same thing will happen to each of us. The existence. So I told you two words, the trust and the existence. And that automatically, if you think about it, that automatically brings a responsibility on you. Don't you think these three combinations in medical science demands a quest for excellence? And that is that not your ultimate goal as a human being? Don't you achieve? Your founder, Bharatji, told that it has not yet earned an eminence nationally or internationally. But he aims to excel. He aims to excel in every discipline, in every educational services, right? And he has his role models. He told about L.V. Prasad Eye Institute. He told his role models. And he had vision of you. And one of the vision, besides these qualities, is very important. Remember, in between, I'll come back. In between, I will say, remember, we are in a profession, and because this is a big university, you will realize that you are in a profession, and you have your IT counterpart colleges, you have your engineering counterpart, and if you ask your vice chancellors, or pro-vice chancellor, or your president, they have campus placements. And the campus placement will vary from 90 to 100% of various institutions based on the demand success. Remember, you have 0% campus placement. Remember? You are your own destiny maker. For these three previous important concepts. 70% of the doctor creates job. If you are good, if you are excellent, you heard about a 75 years old man sitting there, training his whole family as doctors. I'm sure he must have created many jobs all around him to help people. 70% of them creates job. Your job creators, employers, right? And that's why excellence is important. Many times there is a confusion between success and excellence. Success is estimated by others. 10 people will say he's a successful man. That's hard. 10 people will say he's a useless fellow on the other hand. But excellence is in your hand. It's your dedication, your wisdom, your interest that you can excel and continue to excel. Because sustainability of excellence is a very important concept. And another important thing which I heard, I'm not prepared anything, but I'm hearing from your wisdom that ma'am was lamenting about, Professor Gitanjali was lamenting about the trust between patients and doctor today because of two words he told, altruism and empathy. You're right, ma'am. Very right. And empathy means the feeling the pain of others, not sympathy. They're two different words. Sympathy, you sympathize with it. You don't feel it. Empathy is you feel that pain. You feel the pain of your parents when they're suffering. Feel the pain of your children, when they are suffering. That is empathy. Now, this is a profession, unlike any other profession, actually demands empathy as an essential component of your profession. I will give you an example. This is a practical example of my own life. And suddenly I remembered when ma'am told it, that I had a grandmother, I grew up with my grandmother, and he had suddenly a fracture fracture of humerus. And she was at that time, luckily, in Bhubaneswar, and there was a big shot orthopedician who had come back to Bhubaneswar, who was my classmate and a dear friend. And he had come back from, indeed, he came back to India getting trained in one of the very eminent institutes in England. You must have heard about Hammersmith, one of the best. And he came back and joined, at that time, a big sort private setup which was starting there. So I thought he is there, he will help him. I came down and took my grandmother to him. And I also had my brothers and other sister to take care. So I told him, you should repair him. He told me, yes, don't worry, I'll do it. So then, every day evening, because the hospital has restrictions, there are attendants, every day evening I will come back to my grandmother to visit her, also in the morning. And she's a normally jovial lady, and she will tell me, I used to ask, how are you? She will tell me, I'm fine. But nothing else. She used to smile always. She was not smiling. Then after 3 days, I thought, and the nurse come, you can take her home, discharge. So I took her home. Then I asked, what happened in the hospital? Why you are so gloomy and you are not smiling? There's my friend who looked after you so well and it is healed. Yeah, I understand that. That's fine. But the never came to me once, never touched me once, never asked me how you are feeling. He just did the surgery and left me, and there were some juniors coming. It's like mechanized in a wall of room, packed with wall. And she was an old lady. She was treated, but there was no human touch. She was not happy. And that's why ma'am was telling about empathy. You may be a very competent man, but that feeling that your patient is there, touching her, is a very important thing. And that's a very important thing about empathy. You are in a professor where you can push the boundary of knowledge, as I told. Remember, knowledge is power. And from a very old days, it has been told that Swadase Pujyate Raja Vidwan Sarvatra Pujyante. And you are a science of knowledge. In your own country, a king is always praised. But you are a very knowledgeable man. You are recognized world over. And that's your power. A power can deliver. A power can do good. A power can do bad also. But if you have the power, you have that attitude of empathy which medical profession trains, the altruism which medical profession trains, you can actually convert it. Very important. Another important thing that struck me very importantly by your president, that you have stopped taking post-graduation in non-clinical subjects like anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, or microbiology, because you people are not interested. And I was just discussing with them, role models in life. That is the time role models are for. That is the time you shape mind. That is the time you train people and change them. Again, I will give you a story. Like you, I joined in anatomy, first MBBS, in a small college. I chose Brahmpur Medical College in Ganjam, nearer to Vizag. And like many of you will bunk classes, I will bunk classes. I was not interested. I thought I have got into medicine, I will become doctor, I'll do something, I'll make money, fine. And I was never to study. I had an anatomy teacher who is in Hyderabad. He's from Andhra Pradesh. Name is Professor K.S. Rao. He's a man who will call every student, we are 97 student, from roll, not by roll number in class, by first name, Subrat Kumar Acharya, B. Achari, A. Soma Sundaram. These are actually my classmates in rolls, according to the A. And we will say, yes, sir. He remembers every student by first name. And he used to teach in excellent fashion. And next class, when he come back, he makes it a point to ask 5 minutes or 10 minutes question on the previous class to his students. And many of us who have never studied, or we will sit in the back. You must be sitting in the back, hiding your face so the teachers will not see you. It's a practical thing. But he is a very intelligent man. He will pick up those fellows who are hiding face and will make me stand, always. Right. And after third or fourth class, he called me, why you are not reading? What is your problem? See the anatomy teacher. I told, sir, I don't have books. I'm a very poor boy. I lied to him. Right. Then what he did, he told, okay, fine. Your classes are over at 4. You come to my room. I used to go to his room. He will sit there, give me the Gray's Anatomy book, make me read the chapter in front of me, sit for 2 hours. Made me read the anatomy completely. And made me interested in that subject. Made me interested in the whole medicine. Changed the mind. Till date, he is my role model. I salute. This is the importance. I'm standing in front of you. If that man would not have been here, I would not have been here. Don't you think this is the biggest regard, biggest respect, biggest award for any teacher or any individual in life, that your words remember you till their death? That's the importance of anatomy, sir. That's the importance of physiology, biochemistry, pathology, pharmacology, and microbiology. It saves us. It saves us as doctors who can deliver this trust, the responsibility, the knowledge, and things. Without them, no clinical science exists. Without them, no institution can exist. Without them, no real research can happen to push the boundary of knowledge. They are the pillars of medical science. If this is happening, somewhere the mistake is ours. We are unable to create that interest. And I belong to the medical field. I understand how important it is, how vital it is. So that's a very important thing. And you can strategize. I can think about it, that this is the most important discipline if you want your medical institution to really do good, really do a mark in the world, and make changes amongst even the clinician or a biotechnologist, because this is the basic knowledge based on which infrastructure everything is built. Without that, you don't exist, right? If I ask you today, right, what is the normal, who is the person who discovered circulation? Or what is the difference between cardiac index and cardiac output? What is systemic vascular resistance? What is the pulmonary capillary wedge pressure? How a basic cellular structure cell looks like in the muscle, and what is the difference between the muscle cell and a nerve cell? What are the structures in the brain? What are the components? You become a neurologist. You need to know what are the components. You need to know what are the function, what is the astrocyte, what is the microglia, what is the neuron, what is the dendrites, what are the axons, right? How is the spinal cord? How is the anterior horn cell? How is the posterior answer? Which fibers runs anywhere? You need that. If you've not done your anatomy, if you've not done your physiology, you may be very difficult, it may be very difficult for you to find real knowledge in the lodge. You may read a EEG. You may give medicine, certain medicines, because now representatives are coming and training you with medicine. This works in this works in this. It's like a clock. It's not real science. So that's very important. How important the anatomy, physiology, and biochemistry. I was picked up by Dr. Kalyan. He was a biochemist. And when I was traveling with him, I used to discuss. Right? Then suddenly he told me, it seems you know a lot of biochemistry. Because no, I didn't know biochemistry. I had to know biochemistry because I had to treat my patients. Right? That's very important. And lastly, I will not take much of your time. I realized your president, Mr. Bharat, told that he had a wish to see these institutes growing, actually make a name out of it. The institute doesn't make name. The institute is made by its products. The products makes the institute's name. Why you have heard about Cambridge as the #1 university in the world? The Cambridge was built on both sides of Cam River by 2 buildings, and it was joined by a bridge, hence the name is Cambridge. And just 2 colleges. If you go to the University of Cambridge, you will see they are scattered, not a beautiful gated university like this. Many buildings are very old. Institutions are built by man, not by building. Institutions are built by its product, not by building. Even in your companies or your product, you see a good company, good product, you trust that product. It's you who are the product of this institution. It's your quality, your deliverables, your reputations, your ability will establish GIMSR as the #1 medical institute of knowledge, science, research, and training, not in the India, in the world. Best wishes. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable words. It means a lot to all of us. Now, I request the dignitaries on dais to felicitate our chief guest. Finally, the most awaited, energetic, and enthusiastic moment is here. Awarding of MBBS degrees, merit certificates, and medals. Dr. Srividya from Department of Community Medicine will be announcing the names of our graduates.
Thank you, Dr. Harni. Good afternoon, one and all. Now, as Dr. Harni said, we will move on to the most awaited moment, that is presentation of certificates. I will announce the names of graduates and requesting them to come accordingly. I request honorable dignitaries to present the certificates to them. B. Venkatakrishna Mohan, Fatima Ashraf, M. Harshavardhan, R. Harshaditya Krishna, Aditya Parvataneni, Advitiya Mahapatra, S. Sri Vinay Aditya Sai, A. Venkatamani Yashwant, Chindala Anup Reddy, Ansh Kapil, Anushka B, A. Shruti, A. Divyashri, Aditya Sai, Divyashri, Mani Yashwant, Anup Reddy, Ansh Kapil, Ansh Kapil, Anushka, A. Shruti, A. Divyashri, Egnapriya, Balayamini, B. Tejaswi, okay, Amini, Tejaswi, Lokesh Reddy, B. Vijayarani Samyukta, B. Yashwant, B. Shruti, B. Shruti, B. Sai Nikhil, B. Pavan Kumar, B. Suryanjali, B. Nitesh, CH Tirumala Jagadish. CH Tirumala Jagadish. Ashita, CH Ashita. CH M Yashaswini. D Shraddha Raju. D Shraddha Raju. Dev KBN VS Sai Krishna. Sai Krishna. Shashavali. D Jayashri. E Sri Sai Shivani. G Satya Padma Jayasai Pavan. G Pavan. G Pavan. G VV Jigisha. Jigisha. G Lakshmi Rahul. G Sai. G Lakshmi Rahul. G Sai Raviteja. Jagruti G. G Aditya. Guru Prasad. Guru Prasad. G Asha Jyoti. Jashwant. Jashwant Verma Alluri. K Nikhil. KV Prashanti. KV Prashanti. K Sahana. K Sahana. K Maitreyi. K Sahana. K Maitreyi. K Vinila Sandhya. K Maitreyi. K Vinila Sandhya. K Vinila Sandhya. K R Rishichandan. K R Rishichandan. K Gunasai Faniteja. K Trishita Reddy.
K. Sriharsha Reddy. K. Rachana. K. Kondra Srileka. Koshini G. K. Pratyusha. Kushant Narasa Sai. L. Manisha Chowdhury. Lahari Padma M. Lakshmi Sravya Chilukuri. T. Lavanya. M. Nallaya Chowdhury. M. Sai Lakshmi. M. Sai Kiran Reddy. Manish Dodda. Mari Chaitanya. M. Grishma. M. Satyakrishna. M. Bindu Bhargavi. M. Nikil Kumar Reddy. N. Nagadharmini. N. Annapurna. Neha Babaria. Nitin Mahajan. Sri Venkat Pavan. Pasupuleti Pallavi. P. Swati. P. Durga Bhavani. Piyati Kuruvilla. P. Abhishta. MLA Pragna. B. Prerna. Rangasai Vinith. Ratna Rohit, Resu Dilip Reddy, M. Roop Sai, B. Samhit Saur, S. Kirti Charita, Sheikh Asha, Sheikh Nazima, Shivani V, S. Sai Prasanna, Sirisha Vadlamani, Siva Ritu P, Sneha Vijay Lakshmi, S. Ramalakshmi, S. Ramalakshmi Narayana, Shreya M, Sucharita CH, S. Bharat Simha Reddy, Swapna K, Swati G, Shweta G,
Sasha Wali, Syed Amin, T. Sri Ramya, Sai Pavan Reddy, T. Sai Pavan, T. Mohit, T. Mohit, T. Sai Teja Patel, V. Vaishnavi,
వెళ్ళిపోవద్దు ఎవరు ఫిజిషియన్స్ బ్లడ్ ఉందని కూడా చెప్పమన్నారు మేడం.
Vasu Goyal, Vedant, Dhaval Kulkarni, Vidusha Raman, V. Nishita, B. Aishwarya, G. Manikanta Appalnaidu, K. N.S. Srilata, Harshita P. Ananya Rao, M. Ananya, N. Sai Manasa, J. Navya, P. D. Rajbabu, P. D. Rajababu, D. Preeti, D. Preeti, P. Hemant Kumar, P. Hemant Kumar, R. Jayesh, R. Jayesh, U. Sai Kaushik, B. Sai Vinay, Gautam Bose K, H. Mahant Lal, K. Surya, K. B. Srujan, K. Surya, K. B. Srujan, K. B. Srujan, K. Naveen Krishna, K. Naveen Krishna, Venkat Satya Naren, M. Sai Kiran, M. Sai Kiran Reddy, M. Kiran Mai, P. Pragati, P. Navyashri, P. Navyashri, S. Manoj, P. Navyashri, S. Manoj, D. Sivasai Sindhura, S. Manoj, D. Sivasai Sindhura, Y. Sumant, A. Rakesh, B. Satya Venkata Gauri Manohar, B. Satya Venkata Gauri Manohar, C. CH Nirmala Niharika, D. Bhavita Sharli, D. Venkat Sitaram Vivek, G. Preeti, G. Preeti, G. Surya Kavya, K. B. Prudvi, K. Bhavita, K. Bhavita, K. Kalyani, K. Kirti Sai, K. Kirti Sai, M. Abhishek, M. Abhishek, M. Venkata Satya Sai Chaitanya, Manideep Chowdhury, M. Vani Deepika, N. Vasanta Chengalva, N. Venkata Akhil, Vasanta Chengalva, N. Venkata Akhil, N. Hinita, N. Hinita, N. Rupesh, N. Rupesh, P.V. Nagasai Tej, P.V. Nagasai Tej, P. Srividya, P. Srividya, S. Sri Lokeshwari Amrita Sri, Venkata Siva Prasad Reddy. I request all of you please wait for physician pledge.
Now it's time for our gold medals. Mr. M. Guruprasad SR has secured first in anatomy. Mr. Guruprasad SR has secured first in anatomy. Mr. Guruprasad SR has secured first in biochemistry. Ms. Pasupuleti Pallavi has secured first in biochemistry. Ms. Sheikh Asha has secured first in biochemistry. Ms. Pasupuleti Pallavi has secured first in physiology. Ms. Sheikh Asha has secured first in pharmacology. Mr. Guruprasad SR has secured first in microbiology. Ms. Sheikh Asha has secured first in microbiology. Mr. Guruprasad SR has secured first in pathology. Mr. Guruprasad SR has secured first in forensic medicine also. Wait, Guru. Ms. Chekuri Ashita has secured first in otorhinolaryngology. Ms. Sheikh Asha has secured first in ophthalmology. Mr. Guru Prasad SR has secured first in community medicine. Ms. Venkat Prashanti has secured first in general medicine. Mr. Sai Vineet has secured first in general surgery. Mr. Vasu Goel has secured first in obstetrics and gynecology. Ms. Nisita has secured first in obstetrics and gynecology. Ms. Sheikh Asha has secured first in pediatrics. We have two memorial awards. The first one is Sri Kakarparti Sarveswar Rao Memorial Award, which is instituted by Dr. Madhavi from Department of Biochemistry in loving memory of her father. So this year, there are three toppers in biochemistry, and each will be receiving a cash prize of 5,000 each. And the toppers are Dr. Sheikh Asha, Dr. Guru Prasad SR, and Dr. Paspaleti Pallavi. Now, Srimati Vimala Garimella Memorial Award, which is instituted by Dr. Rajshekar Garu, Professor, Head of Department Orthopedics, in memory of his loving mother, which goes to the best outgoing lady student. The medal, along with a cash prize of 10,000, is awarded to Dr. Sheikh Asha. Finally, the President Gold Medal Award for the Best Outgoing Student of 2016-17 batch also goes to Dr. Sheikh Asha. Now I request our Principal Madam to administer physician pledge for our future doctors.
Please put forward your right hand. Repeat after me. As a member of the medical profession, I solemnly pledge to dedicate my life to the service of humanity. The health and well-being of my patient will be my first consideration. I will respect, the autonomy and dignity of my patient. I will maintain the utmost respect for human life. I will not permit considerations of age, disease, or disability, creed, ethnic origin, gender, nationality, political affiliation, race, sexual orientation, social standing, or any other factor to intervene between my duty and my patient. I will respect the secrets that are confided in me even after the patient has died. I will practice my profession with conscience and dignity and in accordance with good medical practice. I will foster the honor and noble traditions of the medical profession. I will give to my teachers, colleagues and students the respect and gratitude that is their due. I will share my medical knowledge for the benefit of the patient and the advancement of health care. I will attend to my own health, well-being, and abilities in order to provide care of the highest standard. I will not use my medical knowledge to violate human rights and civil liberties, even under threat. I make these promises solemnly, freely, and upon my honor. Please be seated. So last year your seniors took the Hippocratic oath. Later on the Charak Sapat was there. And now this is the physician's pledge. Whatever it may be, the essence is the same. I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Now I request Dr. B. Ramesh Garu, Professor, Head of Pharmacology and our MU Coordinator, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, one and all. I, Dr. B. Ramesh, on behalf of GIMSR, take the privilege of proposing vote of thanks on the occasion of the graduation ceremony of the 2016-17 MBBS batch of students. At the outset, I thank Dr. Subrat Kumar Acharya, Pro-Chancellor, Kalinga Institute of Industrial Technology, deemed to be University, Bhubaneswar, and Executive Director, Gastroenterology and Hepatology, Fortis Escorts Hospital, New Delhi, for obliging and gracing the occasion as chief guest and being inspiration to not only the graduating students, but every one of us here. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Now I thank our dynamic leader, Sri M. Sri Bharat, President Geetam, deemed to be University, for his gracious presence and making the occasion memorable as always. I sincerely thank Professor Jaishankar E. Variyar, in charge Vice Chancellor Geetam, for presiding over the function. I now thank our beloved Pro-Vice Chancellor Medical Sciences, Dr. Geetanjali Padmanabhan, for her valuable guidance, encouragement, and support in organizing the ceremony. Our sincere thanks are due to Professor Gunasekaran, Registrar Geetam deemed to be University, for his august presence on this occasion. Now it's my duty to thank our beloved principal, Dr. I. Jyoti Padmaja, who has been guiding us throughout since the occasion was planned. Our special thanks to Sri M. Sri Bharadwaj, Secretary Geetam, for his valuable presence. I also thank the Board of Governors and management. Our heartfelt thanks are due to the dignitaries of the dais, Pro-Vice Chancellor Students' Life, Professor Gautam Rao Garu, Medical Superintendent GIMSR, for their valuable presence. Now I thank Directorate of Evaluation, heads of the institutions, functional directors, and heads of the departments. I thank hospitality, security, and technical staff for the arrangements. Similarly, I thank press, media, student volunteers, graduating students, and their proud parents for making this occasion memorable one. Finally, I thank the faculty of various committees constituted for this purpose, staff of Office of the GIMSR, and members of the Medical Education Unit who have been working hard for smooth conduct of this graduation ceremony. Once again, thank you one and all.
Please rise for the national anthem. Thank you all.